What's up, I'm Jaye. Today I'm joined with a couple of special guests, a absolute full house. Starting from my left, introduce yourself, your name, your age, and then your occupation and your relationship status.
My name is Moise. I'm 25 years old. I trade stocks. I have an IT boot camp, and I make red pill content. And I'm single.
Okay.
I'm Tony. I'm 22, and I'm a nail tech, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay. Are you single? Relationship?
Oh, I'm single.
Okay.
My name is Janie. I'm 23 years old, and what's my occupation? Oh yeah, I freelance remote executive support to executives.
Okay. Single? Relationship?
Oh, I'm single.
Okay.
Mara Nicole. I am a cosmetologist in account management. I'm a model. I don't want to say my age because it's none of y'all business, but I'm single.
Okay.
My name is Jaye. I'm 21. I currently am in school right now, so just business management and marketing. No occupation fully just yet, mostly entrepreneurship, and I am single.
Okay.
Somebody's breathing into the mic.
Yeah, could you stop? Go ahead.
I'm Naya. I'm 21 years old. I model as well and dance on the side. Complicated, like it was last time.
Complicated.
Ain't shit changed.
Okay.
All right, I'm Sally. I'm 22. I'm a teacher, and I'm single.
I'm Koya, because there's already one Shay in the room. I go by Shay sometimes. And I am 32, and I'm a leasing consultant and model.
Okay.
Hey y'all, I'm Leah. I am 30. I am a model and an influencer, and I'm in a relationship.
Oh,
Okay.
I feel bad about the age no more.
All right, so Trent, I want you to pull up the Tinder thing. We're about to watch that really quick, and then we're going to do a reaction. I'm going to ask you ladies and guy a question about dating apps and things of that nature. Let's hit it.
You can find a bit of everything on Tinder, but one little swipe can change your life.
I only miss
Somebody's
you
still
when
breathing
it
into the mic.
rains.
When I first talked with Simon, immediately we had a bond.
When I listen to the radio.
He was smart and funny and very impulsive.
I shared my whole heart with him.
And then he asked me if I wanted to travel with him on a private jet. I was like, shit.
He took me to a 5-star hotel. He said
We had a special connection.
It felt like stepping into a movie. And then in the middle of the night,
You got me here looking dumb as a motherfucker.
he said there was something he wants to tell me. He said yes, sure.
I'm like super focused.
I'm like, what the fuck going on?
I'm still the oldest, but I don't feel so bad anymore. That always happens. I'm always the oldest.
Who's seen the Tinder Swindler so far? Y'all seen it?
Like actually
Nah.
watched it?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay.
Clips of it on TikTok.
Clips?
Say clips and like synopsis.
To be honest with you, I never even knew who he was until
You can find a bit of everything on Tinder, but one little swipe can change your life.
I only
On Tinder, but one little swipe can change your life.
I only miss you when it rains.
When I first talked with Simon, immediately we had a bond.
When I listen to the radio.
He was smart and funny and very impulsive.
I shared my whole heart with him.
And then he asked me if I wanted to travel with him on a private jet. I was like, shit.
He took me to a 5-star hotel. He said
We had a special connection.
It felt like stepping into a movie. And then in the middle of the night, he said there was something he wants to tell me. He said he has threats against him.
He needs our cash.
20,000.
Let's pause it. Okay, starting from my left, what are your thoughts on dating apps? Do you use dating apps?
I personally don't use dating apps. I think dating apps are weak. I think it's I mean, like it depends what you're looking for, right? For sexual purposes, yeah, dating apps make sense. As far as looking for a long-term relationship, you might get lucky, but probabilistically, you're not gonna find somebody that you actually, can build something with.
Okay. You?
I agree that dating apps are. It depends on what you're looking for.
Do you personally use them?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
I think I wouldn't be on dating apps to hook up, but it's a new city, so I try to make some friends, So that's why I'm on dating apps. I like Bumble and all.
Okay, so then I gotta ask the question: have you ever been on a date knowing that you wasn't attracted to the person? Because you say friends, I'm guessing most dudes don't want to be friends. They want.
I've definitely went on some dates, but I have to be attracted. I have to be attracted to them. If I meet them, I might not be attracted, but initially, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Nope. Never been on a dating app. I don't believe in it. I don't like it. I don't think you're gonna find long-term relationship
Really?
out of it.
Have you ever tried it at all?
Nope.
Damn. Okay. Talk to me.
Well, yeah, I did a dating. Yeah, I used to be on dating apps. I had a well, it wasn't a good relationship, but we were together for about like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, from a dating app.
Yeah, from a dating app. Started from Tinder and shit, and so I don't know, but it's at the end of the day, you really don't know that person. I don't know. You just have no like outside connections to that person. So it is kind of weird. It's something to get used to, but I don't know. It's all right. It's a new generation. It's 2022. Fuck it.
True.
I think it's something to do when you're bored.
Damn, really?
When you're
Straight
bored.
to the point.
Okay.
That's it.
So, have you ever been on dates from a dating app? You have?
But it's been like sugar daddy apps, like different.
Oh, so it's not like Tinder and Bumble and stuff like
I
that.
mean, you go out for dinner. Like they pay to have dinner with you, and then you leave.
Okay, that's a different thing. All right.
And I used to really be like shitting on people who did dating apps. I like didn't see the point in it. And then I started having friends tell me of like successful relationships where they met somebody through a dating app. So I decided like, let me stop being like bitter and just test it out. And I just found myself like starting conversations and be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I was like, let me not like keep putting this negative energy out there. And I just like cut it and stopped using them. So I think like it can be useful for people who put the right energy into it, but I realistically like don't have that energy to put into it. So like I pulled myself out of it because it didn't make sense.
Okay.
I've tried a dating app or two.
And can you talk to the microphone for me, please?
Sorry. I've tried a dating app or two. Didn't like it because I felt like it was a waste of time.
Really?
Like, I agree with what she said. If you put the right energy into it, then you might can find a person, but most people nowadays know they're on there for either sex or just to waste someone's time.
Okay. And then?
Yeah, I've been on a dating app, and when I got on there, I was like, people aren't being like genuine, but I've met some pretty cool people that I've ended up being friends with. So
Guys?
No, because they all clearly wanted sex, and I was like, nah.
Okay, so all the ladies in the house, are y'all actually, when y'all go on these dating apps, are y'all looking for sex or y'all just looking for a connection? What are y'all actually looking for?
For me, it was actually, it was for connection. It was just a connection, new friends,
But
new
you
people.
can tell, like, off of the first 1 or 2 responses that you get
Uh-huh.
out of the DM, like, no. This is
And then talk to the microphone for me.
Like, you can
There we
tell,
go.
like, it's a waste of time. Like, no.
Okay.
I think the app you're using also kind of signifies what exactly you're looking for. Like, if you're thinking like Tinder is usually just like swipe sex, like Bumble you can like set
Swipe
it,
sex.
basically, but like
Okay.
Bumble you can set it that you're looking for friendship and it'll like mingle like who's gonna cross your page.
Yeah.
And then Hinge, their whole thing is like the app to delete because you're gonna find a date. So I think it also depends what app you're on, signifies like what your intentions are.
I got a question.
Go ahead. Talk to 'em. Let's get it.
A lot of you ladies said the right energy. If you come at it with the right energy, then you can possibly find somebody. What's the right energy? How do you put in the right energy into a dating app?
By being true to yourself. Like, what do you want? And like explicitly putting that energy into there. Because you can't be like, oh, I'm going to try to have a connection, but all you want is sex. Like, you're not going to get connection. You're going to get people who want to have sex with you.
But wouldn't you say?
I'm trying to get to know you. Like,
transparency.
What do you transparency?
A dating app is broken into 2 segments, right? One for men, one for females. Like on a grand spectrum of things, it's males and females that are trying to connect with each other. So wouldn't you say, regardless of whatever energy you come at it with, you can't really determine what the opposing side is going to come with?
I think that's where transparency comes in. Like, I can come in, and if I know coming in, like, okay, I'm trying to seek out a relationship, and then I cross paths with someone who's not, we can have that dialogue where he's like, no, I'm just trying to have sex. And I'm like, oh, I want a relationship. It was nice meeting you.
But most dudes want to have sex.
Why would they tell you?
But you have free will.
But that's not
I mean,
what
but
the app
I
is
appreciate
for.
it. He's
It's
not
a
wrong
sex
for
app.
wanting that. Like,
It's not a sex
No,
app.
my-
This is here for relationship.
My question is this, right? So hypothetically speaking, say you're on a dating app, you connect with a guy. You tell the guy, hey, I'm here looking for a relationship. This man that's connected to you knows automatically if he says that I'm here just for sex, you're going to say, oh, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm not trying to talk to you. So from a male perspective, not to say I would ever do this, but from a male perspective, why would he tell you that he's there just for sex when he knows the moment he makes that clear, he's going to lose you?
Facts.
But see, that defeats the purpose because he knows that. So
But-
then you're going to play me. And I'm going to end up finding out in the short or long run that you played me.
But you'll still get played.
You weren't.
Well, question.
But that's what I'm saying.
When
That's not
when
fair.
a
It's
guy
a
approaches
dating
you,
app.
don't you think that they want sex versus they want a connection?
I mean, not all guys.
Yeah,
just
that's what I
want
was about to
sex.
say. That it's not all.
I
all
agree,
men
but
do.
I would say on a scale of probabilities on any dating app, 99.9% of men, not even just 99%, 99.9% of men that are on a dating app are looking for sex.
Facts.
I just approached
And
it the
that's
same
why we're
way.
not.
I approached it the same way I did Instagram because it
Okay.
was the same way. I mean, constantly like guys hitting you up in your DMs. I barely had to swipe or do anything. You know what I mean? Most of the time
Yeah.
it was just popping up on my end, and I had the decision to, you know, make
Go with
that.
it.
You know what I mean? Or go with it. So it's gonna come with it. They're gonna, you know, and just like women too, they're probably gonna want just sex and stuff too. So it's just.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
and there's no shame in like if that's all that they
If that's
want.
what you
but
want,
they're-
just
I'm
say
not
it.
shaming.
Well,
Like that's
it's-
fine.
Okay,
it's
okay.
not-
But that here's the thing. Most, like you said, 99.9% of guys want sex in general. So no matter if it's a dating app or it's on Instagram or it's in person, that's what we want initially. Now, if you got value or you a dope ass person, then we want to, you know, hang out with you, have a connection, etc. But initially, we want sex.
So I guess that's the key. Is
But why
like
disguise
initially,
it?
Communicate
if you
that.
find,
But I just did.
No, but like-
99.9 of our
no,
Let-
Let's-
niggas.
let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, right? Like I said, it's okay. It's not about shaming anybody, but it's about being practical, right?
Yeah.
We could say from an ideal perspective, yeah, you should just be honest and things will work out. That's
Nah.
great. It sounds great on a paper, in a book, in a fairy tale. It sounds great. The reality of it is a lot of females can approach dating apps saying that, hey, I'm looking for a genuine connection or I'm just looking for friends, etc. But you are not in control of what a man is there for. And there's men right here telling you that 99.9% of the times, a man will tell you what you need to hear just so he could get into your pants.
But that's why I'm saying
I
that
believe
defeats
that.
the purpose. Like, why would you even come on the app?
Because that's what they're there
Because
for.
that's what it's
I
here
mean,
for.
it's just called the sex.
The
app.
funny thing is about the app
Everybody
is-
knows.
So is Instagram a sex social
no,
media?
listen. So
It
that's what I was
can
about to
be.
get into. It's,
Okay, no, one at a time. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it was kind of, I was just about to get into that. Like,
And then she had something.
Tinder, Bumble, all that shit, you know, even Instagram, you're literally basing it off of what you see. Literally, it's just what you see. So you'll never know somebody's intentions. Just like if someone was to DM you and stuff, like even though you guys share mutuals and shit like that, it's still like a stranger. It's still someone you met on the internet. And Tinder's the same way. They completely approached you based off your appearance. So if you go into it with that knowledge, like, they swipe left because they know I look good, but do they know I'm crazy? You know what I mean?
Okay,
so
but
it's just like,
question for you: do you apply that same knowledge with guys in general that approach you?
yes.
That's
So
what
that's
I'm
why
saying.
that's
you
what I'm
have to
saying.
Same way
go
in
in-
person.
Exactly the same way in
The same
person.
exact way in
The
person.
way
They
they would
approach
approach me
you.
Okay.
just based off my physical, and they
Exactly.
would have to get to know it. It's the same way with. That's why I'm so not okay with like dating apps. Like I haven't been on it in a while, but. It's the same as like they see what they see and then they decide if they want to approach that.
You know what I mean? That's why I don't do it. That's why I'm not on the app because I mean I feel like I'm gonna get the same energy in person. The dude, you know, walk by, damn, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Whatever. Initially, I'm not gonna say all he wants is sex, but I know like, yo, he finds me attractive in a way where like, yeah, I can lay down with that, and depending on how that goes or depending on her vibe, then I might can grow something from that. I don't need to waste my time on no app. I don't know. I'd rather
that
get
makes
that vibe in
sense.
person.
Yeah. Okay, and you
No,
had
I
something.
definitely agree. I
And can you
love
talk to the
meeting
microphone for me?
Oh, I definitely agree because I love meeting people organically. That's usually how I start my relationships. But when it comes to dating apps, it's just like social media. And I feel like guys be thinking women are delusional, which we're not. We know that a lot of men we know that a lot of men be trying to get in our pants and stuff. We already like, you know, we're trying to read you. We're trying to see your intentions and that. Right. Some girls are with it, so we with it. You know, some girls are not. So they step back. And some girls, they are delusional, so they might try to put a box on something that they don't fit in and whatever. But it's really about the type of woman you are and what you want and what you're looking for at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, starting from this side, have you ever hooked up? I'm sorry. Have you ever hooked up from a dating app?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
No. Really? Okay.
Not the really. No.
I feel some cap in this fucking building.
No.
Wow. Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not on it.
Oh, you're not.
I'm a little confused about why everybody was defending dating apps if nobody here is using them. Like, why was everybody like justifying dating apps when it's coming down to using it? None of you
I
actually
think I
use
was
them.
the only person who was
I
actually
respect the
justified
honesty.
it.
Yeah, I respect
Because
that.
I was the only one who said like I was
used
using it.
but
I've used
I mean, I haven't went on a date from it because I deleted it before I got a chance to.
Okay.
So, yeah, like
Right, I
I
was
said,
just
like I
like,
tried it.
This isn't
but
my jam.
Yeah, I realized that like the app wasn't for me. Kind of like she said, like she doesn't use them because she doesn't feel like that's
And then
like,
talk to the
what's
microphone
gonna,
for me.
She doesn't feel like that's what's gonna
There
like,
you go.
work for her.
Mhm.
And so I tried it and like gave it a shot, and I realized like I wasn't down for like the small like talk on there. I wasn't down for those conversations, and it wasn't what I was like into.
Uh-huh.
And so I removed myself from the apps. Hence why I have not like slept with anybody from an app, because I tried it and I was like, this is not my vibe.
No.
I know people who use them. They try them. They've been successful. I just personally knew that was like not my vibe.
Okay. And then what was it? It was on you, right? Have you ever
Yeah.
hooked up from a dating app?
So, no, but I've been on dates, you know.
Okay.
Like if somebody approaches me on my social media, yeah, I hooked up.
Okay. Okay. And you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Nah.
No.
Nope.
Not at all.
Nah.
Okay. All right, Trent, roll it.
$30,000.
$140,000?
His life depended on me. That's when police tell me the man I loved was never real. Everything's a lie.
Let's pause it right here real quick, Trent. All right, starting from, you said you never been on, have you ever hooked up with like dated someone from social media?
I've courted girls on social media that I met that I wanted to see if I had interest in, but as far as like, just to put it out there, like I'm on semen retention. I said this last time I was here. That means I don't hook up. I don't watch porn. I don't believe in busting a nut. So I've courted women. Sure, I'll take girls on dates and I'll vet them to make like, you know, just to get an idea about who they are, if they can handle my lifestyle, etc. But as far as actually hooking up, nah.
Okay, so in this story, the main issue was the dude got money from women. So if your woman that you was on a date with, cared about, etc., was in like trouble in an instance, could she loan a lot of money from you? Let's just say 10,000.
Hold on,
then I'm
one
gonna
more
go
time.
down the line.
One more time.
So in the story,
Yeah.
right, the reason why it's so big is because this dude had a fake persona, and then he asked women for money.
Okay.
And then he never paid them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying if I would lend them money?
Yeah. Would you lend money to your girl that you was dating?
To give
and you
to another man?
No, not to another man. But she was like, I need help. I need money.
What you need money for? I mean,
life.
Nah, because if you're my girl, that means I'm taking care of you, which means that you have no reason for asking me for a sum of money because your needs are already taken care of.
Okay. Okay. What about you? If your dude that you was on a date with, that you loved, that you was a boyfriend of, and he asked you for a big lump sum of money to borrow, what would your response be?
I'd probably say no. I don't really lend anybody money.
But you love him though.
Okay.
He's your girlfriend. He's your boyfriend. So still no.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. All right. What about you?
So you saying this is my boyfriend?
And then speak up to the microphone.
You saying this is my boyfriend?
Yeah, this is your boyfriend. Well, this is your boyfriend that you think is your boyfriend because he has a fake
If
persona
I think
online.
He's not my boyfriend.
No, he's your
I gotta know
boyfriend,
he's
but he
my
has a
boyfriend.
fake persona online. Is what I'm saying.
A fake persona.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding.
Okay, you got a boyfriend. He asked you for money. Would you give it to him?
Yeah, he my man.
Okay. He asked you for $10,000.
10,000.
Yep.
Give me a couple days or some shit.
And you still give it to him. Okay. All right. I just want to know your
if
heads
he's
at.
worth it, you know.
Okay.
Honey, I got questions. First of all, let's start with the relationship part of it. You're my boyfriend.
Yep.
Like, how long have we been
I don't know.
in
Let's
a
say
relationship?
3 months.
And you need 10 grand?
Yeah.
Nah, the way my kids eat, I got about a smooth $10 for you, sweetheart. You're gonna have to figure it out. I don't know. I have questions. Why do you need that much? For what?
Okay.
What's going on? What did you do to get there? What are you gonna do to give me my money back? Like, I don't.
Okay. But you see that he has a lavish lifestyle. He travels in expensive jets. He travels in expensive cars and shit like that. So you know that he got the money and then he asked you for it because he was down and out.
again, why are you down and out?
Okay.
What did you do to get there, and what will you do to reassure me that you won't be there again?
Okay, got you.
So you said the fake persona, like
Yeah.
The
that's
fake
what-
persona
that's what
is
I'm
he was faking a lifestyle. Matter of fact, Trent, let's just roll it and finish it up and see if that sums up everybody.
Let's answer some questions.
Who is this guy I've been sharing the same bed with?
Then I get these threatening messages.
Take my advice. Just watch out.
We have no idea what he's capable of.
It's just been fucking hell. I'm just freaking out.
But we needed to get payback.
We don't know how far this conspiracy actually goes.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
We had one chance.
To swindle the Tinder Swindler.
You double-crossed me? You're gonna pay for it.
He's threatening people?
Right.
Like, I
Okay.
don't know nothing about this dude. I literally
Okay.
just learned about this dude
Today?
Not today, like maybe 3 days ago when Shade Room told me about him trying to do like a little dating, whatever. Yeah, so I don't really.
So basically, the premise is he faked a lifestyle of being very rich, right? So then he gets girls on Tinder and shows them that lifestyle, and then asks them for money, probably at the end of the relationship, and then take their money.
I probably would have asked him for $10,000 before he asked me. Honestly, if I saw
got
him
you.
living that lifestyle.
Nah, but the thing is that, so basically he's painted a picture for you, right? So
Yeah.
for the matter of a couple months, he's living with you, he's paying for your food, you're traveling with him, and you're
Yes.
thinking in your head, you really believe like, yo, this man has made it, like he's rich. After that, he's
And
telling
then
you,
he hits you with that.
and then he's like, yo, my accounts are frozen, I need 10 grand, I'm gonna pay you right back as soon as my accounts get unfrozen.
Yes.
Would you give him the money to
Would
secure
you
the
give him?
lifestyle?
There you go.
That's if I even have it.
Well, he had girls taking out credit card loans, so
Okay, so I mean,
Oh no! If I
That's
gotta
a
go
hard
into debt
one.
just to get you
I
out of debt,
barely-
no sir, that's not gonna work for
I
me.
know, like I barely give my dad fucking money. Like, I don't
Damn,
even
wait.
know, like,
Okay.
I'm not going into debt to get you out of
can't.
debt.
Okay.
No, not 10,000. Maybe 1,000. You'll be lucky if you get $1,000 out of
I
it.
told you I got smooth 10 for you.
$10. No, you're not loaning people money, even if you love them. Okay.
Do you
Have you ever loaned someone money? All right. Oh, go ahead.
I have been on websites where people never met me, but they gave me like a lot of money. So that shit's real.
Okay.
That's
So you the female Tinder.
Exactly. You the goddamn female version, not this
I
motherfucker.
don't meet
Well,
them.
for-
I don't talk to
Well,
them.
go ahead.
for,
Yeah.
for a female, it's not called a Tinder swindler. It's just called taking advantage of your feminine rights.
Facts.
It's perfectly okay
I
for
agree.
females to do that.
I agree with
I
that.
don't think that's.
Well, no. Let's go. What you about to say?
I don't think it's okay for females to do that either.
Why?
To take advantage of the situation. I don't think it's okay for a person to take advantage of another person.
How's it
Whether
advantage
you're-
if
So
she
what's
just
your
asked?
I feel like if they offer.
No.
What-
In her situation, she didn't ask. She ain't put on no show. She didn't do nothing. If they want to send it to you, by all means, thank you.
I would say
love
that's. I would argue that's still taking advantage of a person. Because
you're accepting the gift.
so let me ask you a question. Hypothetically speaking, if I told you ladies that I came in contact with a girl, right? Calm girl, she's a nice girl. And I told you ladies that she doesn't speak much, but she's willing to do everything I say. If I tell her whatever, she takes it as a command and she's just following my word. She's not strong enough to defend herself. Would you guys say that was wrong?
Yes.
I mean, you know she's not strong enough.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're aware.
It's wrong? Any man who is paying you money is weak. He's psychologically abused himself in a way where he has no
Where he
self-respect.
feels like he can pay you for your
He has
attention
a lot
to
of
keep you
money
around and things.
and
But
just wants to
that's
give
why
it
I said
away.
it's still taking advantage of a person.
But there genuinely is men, and I've encountered them who genuinely just have a lot of money and just like it turns them on
That's
to give
why I
that
bet
money
Yeah,
away.
which is a psychological issue. The fact that being humiliated,
Hold on, I gotta think about this.
the fact that being humiliated or being abused by a woman turns you on is a psychological disorder.
Wait.
Imagine, what if they think they're helping us though? Like, what if that's a mindset of like, oh my God, I'm helping you. Like that gives me strength.
So what if I had the mindset that, oh, shorty doesn't know what the hell she wants to do with her life, so I'm helping her by telling her what to do with her life.
That's not the.
If you say it, no,
If you give her money, how
Hold
you
on,
gonna
one at a time. Go ahead.
I feel like
And then her.
I feel like with what you're saying, it can be helpful and beneficial if it comes from a genuine place of care and
But we're talking
concern.
about sexuality, because the people that are paying you, I'm sure, are not paying you because they love you. They're paying you for attention and fucking because they're thirsty.
Right, but with the comment that you just said, as far as like you know that old girl doesn't know what she wants to do in life, so you see that she has a potential in something, so you're telling her what to do.
Oh no. This is not from a leadership standpoint. This is coming completely from a sexual standpoint, where she knows that I'm her dominant figure and she's willing to do everything I say because I don't want to say she fears me, but because there's a part of her that likes it and she's turned on by it.
A kink?
Yeah.
Kink? Okay.
Okay, that's still
And
okay.
then you was about to say something.
As long as y'all are consenting, that's still okay, right?
So let me ask you this
There's
question.
that 50 Shades.
Okay. So hold on. So consent is okay. We're on the page that consent is okay, right? So hypothetically speaking, if I have a friend and he says, "Yo, bro, I'm ready for you to shoot me. I'm perfectly happy for you to shoot me. You have my consent." Does that make it okay?
If he writes a letter.
Yeah, go in the room, get a little BB gun, and shoot his ass.
Okay, how do we go
and
from
revisit this?
Yeah, I'm about to say, hold on, we getting off topic in this motherfucker.
No. Because the point is that you ladies are saying that just because somebody is consenting to give you money makes it okay. But what you're not bringing into account is the fact that a man that's on OnlyFans, jerking off to OnlyFans, has psychological disorders and self-esteem issues, which is why he's on there in the first place. So regardless if he's giving you money out of consent, he is psychologically suffering, and you are exploiting him.
Whoa,
yeah. Oh, let's go. Actually,
Because
talk to me.
he's exploiting
Hold on,
himself.
one at a time. Go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
First of all, he's exploiting himself. What I was gonna say previously, though, there really is men out here, because there's been men that gave me money, and I told them, listen, I don't want your money because I don't want you to think this and that third. Like, I'm not trying to give you the wrong intentions. But they're like, nah. Like, I just really want to help you. I don't need to be helped. Okay, but they still want to give it to you. What you gonna do? You can't do nothing. They giving it to you. Huh?
Why do they want to give you money?
I don't know why. They probably infatuated with you. Whatnot.
We're all grown adults. I'm sure we could figure it out. We could come up with some ideas.
I know, but
Why
I'm
would they
saying
want to
like
give you
they
money?
probably infatuated with me, and that's probably what it is. But I've definitely had a situation where I had to let somebody know, like, listen, don't send me no money, don't do this and that third for me because like I don't need it. Like, but they swore that they was just doing it because like they have love for me. And
were you?
like,
let me get some context for this. Was this your boyfriend or someone that you was dealing with? It was just a random.
Nah, this is just somebody I knew that
Somebody
I went
thirsty.
to college with.
Okay.
And they was just
So
being too nice.
You just said infatuated, right? You know what a synonym for infatuated is? Delusional. You know what delusion is? It's a false perception of reality, which means they're psychologically suffering.
I understand that.
But why is that her responsibility?
That's what
Oh, there we go. Who asked that question?
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
I've had people that, I would wake up to Zelle payments without asking for nothing. Maybe
I believe
they
you.
gambled in the past, and we've been friends. It's nothing more, nothing less. Never even blew in their eye.
Yeah.
And then I've had other people.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Who would you blow in the eye? Is that what you do in your spare time? What the fuck? Hold on.
No. Listen. So then I've had other people where they actually do have an addiction, where they've been married, but they love to see the money come from their bank account and knowing that they can provide it back from their family. Like, they love to spend money and know that they can get it back.
It's not that they love paying you. It's that they love the fact that when they pay you, you respond to them.
Yes. I would actually agree with that.
But what about when you don't? Exactly. Because I definitely didn't respond at times and still got payments.
Yeah, and they're paying you in hopes that they'll get a response.
Until
Exactly. It signifies a lonely man.
So why does that make it right or wrong for me to take that money if I've already
I'll tell you why. Because all of you ladies, when I initially asked you if there's a girl that I met and she's super weak and I can just take advantage of her and control her and tell her what to do, all of you said, yeah, that's wrong of you to do. That's the feminine perspective. What I would be doing to her from a masculine perspective is what the feminine perspective is as far as taking money from men like that.
Wait, I think a key part to note here is I feel like when you're describing your situation with the female, you're describing it almost as in within kinks and not essentially the exact same situation.
If a man's paying you, that's his kink.
Okay, yeah, but flip it to the exact same situation. If a female, if you were with a woman and she was deciding she wanted to pay you, she wanted to give
I wouldn't take her money.
Yeah, that's not
I would not take her money.
Okay, but that's I'm saying we have to kind of we have to relate the same situation.
No, you can't, because men and women are not the same. So you can't do exact opposites of each other.
So if a woman is paying you just because she wants to, she feels good about it, then she does not have a psychological disorder.
Yeah, she does.
She probably does too.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. You were comparing.
It's wrong on both sides. It's wrong on both sides. When you come from a moralistic standpoint, it's wrong on both sides. I'm not saying it's okay for men to do that.
Yes, it is wrong. Yes.
Okay.
We're on the
Say
same
less.
page.
Say less.
I just wanted to clarify because it was like you were saying like telling her what to do, but the man, it wasn't like we're telling him what to do. It was just taking
There's
his money.
look for
It's just knowing that you have the advantage over the other person, regardless
Exactly.
if it's in the form of money or in the form of control. It's just knowing that you have the advantage of that person, and then you use that advantage.
Okay.
And I would go deeper by saying it's a seductive advantage. It's not just an advantage over a person, because naturally speaking, in a relationship, one person does have more certainty and influence than the other person does. And that doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing. But if you have a seductive advantage over somebody, what basically from a psychological standpoint is going on is that from the male perspective or the female perspective, they're getting pleasure of security, or they're getting dopamine rushes in their brain, which is psychologically manipulating them to constantly pay you, because it makes their brain feel good, but as far as self-esteem and humility-wise, they're being destroyed.
That's on them.
Anything? She said that's on them. God damn.
That's on you.
Tough word in this
I
motherfucker.
don't
So
knock
then-
anybody's kinks.
That has nothing to do with me. That's a you choice.
So,
How you choose me as a target and I gotta be responsible of it?
so I would actually disagree with you with the fact that it has nothing to do with you, because naturally speaking, in human interaction, energy flows through each other. So the fact that I'm speaking to you guys right now, you guys have a certain influence over me, and I have a certain influence over you. So when you are taking advantage of somebody psychologically, you might not be getting hurt financially in the wallet, but what you're doing is you're basically decreasing the value that you have in terms of how you view relationships and how you interact in them. Because human beings are beings of habit.
Yes, we
What are
are.
your thoughts on that?
Yes,
So-
we are.
If
Go ahead.
what if all this was communicated from the jump? Like, are you okay with giving me money because this is something that I want to do? Is there communication involved before this?
The fact that something is communicated or consented does not mean that on a moralistic standpoint, it's right. Like I just said, the example that I gave you, that if I have a friend that tells you that, yo, Moise, I don't really like my life. So, yo, bro, here's a gun. Here's a note that says you could shoot me through the brains. Can you please do me that favor? If I shoot him, I'm not doing him a favor.
Okay, that's an extreme example. Like, why do we have to
Yeah.
go from
The reason I'm giving
I'm about to be referee in this bitch.
the reason that I'm giving you an extreme example is because it's not to say that they're the same. It's to kind of give you a whole scenario as far as not a synonym, basically an example or reflection on a minor scale, what that represents.
Okay.
It's
Anything else?
It's really
Because if not, I'm about to.
no matter what example
We can move
you
on.
use,
Yeah,
it's
we're
a
about to.
personal
Yeah, I was about to say, it really
choice. Like, is on a moral level, is it right? No, we all know this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a personal choice whether you choose to cross that line and still take
But
advantage.
that's also
that's a personal thing. Like,
that's a very
'cause I wouldn't
Marxist-
Take advantage of anyone.
That's a
even
very
if you
liberal.
are offering.
That's a very Marxist and liberal point of view. The fact that you think my decisions don't influence anybody else in itself is an invalid thought, because like I said, human beings are energy sharing creatures. So my decisions that I make, even inside my own house, influence the community around me. If you think just because I'm doing something and I'm not hurting anybody, and I'm free to make those choices without having any accountability or responsibility as far as what it's doing to the surroundings of your environment, that's basically, I mean, really, it's an invalid argument.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we all know right from wrong, but again, it's a personal choice. Like, I may not choose to do something, but the next person might choose to take advantage of a person, is what I'm saying. I never said anything you said was
Okay, hold on. Let's move along. Move along. All right, I got to ask you a question starting on this side. A man has 2 children. He teaches the boy to use a condom if he have sex, and teaches the girl not to have sex. Is he wrong? Explain. We start on that side. Let's get it. Talk to me.
Yes, he's wrong.
Why?
Because he's teaching the boy, yeah, it's okay to have sex, just make sure you protect yourself. But with the girl, he's saying you can't have sex at all, instead of saying make sure that the person that you're having sex with is also protected.
Okay. Next.
I just feel like if you're gonna educate one,
And then
you
talk
should
to the microphone
educate
for me.
other. I feel like if you're gonna educate one person, educate the other. Don't exclude me because of the gender, because I'm a female. Like, if you're gonna teach your son how to have sex, teach your daughter how to have sex and how to be protected while having sex.
I can't wait till we get back on this side. We got some fire for you. All right, go ahead.
I would realistically kind of agree with the same thing. I think that goes back to just in general, like, sex education. I feel like you should allow both parties to be fully informed, and then allow them to make their decisions based off of them having the full information and the full extent of, like, the consequences of the decisions they make. Because at the end of the day, if you don't inform your daughter, like, you know, you can have sex, but you should be protected. If you're just like, don't have sex, and then she's like, oh, dad said I can't have sex, I'm gonna have sex, but she doesn't know how to be protected, and then she's pregnant, and now you have, you know, a pregnant daughter. But if you were to inform her, like, you know, I would inform you, maybe wait to have sex with the right person, but if you were to do it this way, protect yourself, then if she does, that kind of like creates that barrier. That could be kind of like the educator in me, is just like thinking of like teen pregnancies and just like making sure that everybody's properly informed and not like excluding information so that they do the extreme and then that leads to greater consequences that they weren't prepared for.
Okay.
I feel like it's not the father's place to tell the daughter how to have sex.
What if he's a single dad?
I mean, he has girlfriends that come around, I'm pretty sure, or maybe
So you won't get a stranger in a sense.
No. Like, I'm pretty sure there is a female in the daughter's life, whether it's an aunt, grandma.
What if it's not?
Okay, well then.
What if it's a distant aunt or an aunt that's not really talking to her like that?
I still don't feel like it's the father's place, respectfully.
That's crazy.
And then I also think it comes from fear.
Okay, why is that?
You know, guys, they tend to treat the son like the friend, not the parent. The daughter kind of gets more the parent role. So I kind of feel like it's a fear, you know. It's your baby girl. You don't want to see anything wrong happen to her.
Okay.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can speak on that from experience being raised by a single father. You know what I mean? Who we didn't really get to have the birds and the bees talk. It was definitely avoided because I was the baby girl. And so I think I don't want to say it's his fault that he's in the wrong. You know what I mean? Because just in from his eyes at his baby girl, and it's just the last thing he wants to see or think about is her having sex. You know what I mean? You can see it from your son's point of view.
Yeah.
But I do want, it should be a conversation though, regardless of like, you know, male, female. I think that there should be more open conversations to women at a younger age about sex. We shouldn't be teaching men how to have sex at a young age. Like, I feel like that's what it is now. Boys are learning how to have sex at such a young age, and girls are being told that we shouldn't have sex. And so, yeah, the topic of conversation just needs to be the same. Like, if you're gonna teach him how to use a condom, then teach me how to put it on or something. You know what I mean?
Oh fuck!
Not in a sense,
show me how to put it on.
Just show, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay.
Like her, myself, I was raised by a single father. I also have a brother. But my father, I feel like he was one of the real ones because he never told me not to have it, but he definitely told me what would happen if I was to have it. And he also told me never lay down with somebody I can't see myself committed to or talking to every day for the next 18 to 26 years of my life.
God damn.
You got a great father.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you lay down, all it takes is one time and then poof, there's a bun in the oven, you understand? So he never really just straightened me away from it. He never encouraged it, but he never straightened me away from it. He never encouraged my brother neither, but he also told my brother, like, I mean, he's older than me, so you know, you got questions, so why you got questions, let me go ahead and this is how you protect yourself. Yeah. You understand? So he never encouraged it, but he definitely was open to talking about it with me and my brother.
Okay.
Okay. With this question, I personally feel like he's being avoidant with the female, you know, because he's not trying to have the conversation of what's inevitable. Obviously, we're all humans, and eventually you're going to want to have, you know, intercourse with another, whatever. But I feel like it's best to just have the communication of what to be expected on what's going to happen when you do have sex and what you should do about it, whether you want to get on birth control or you just wait or whatever. Because you should still give the personal decision.
Who said that? Go ahead, talk to him.
Yeah.
This is a debate. This is a
why you said that?
Birth control.
Oh no, I'm against birth control.
Yeah,
you against birth control?
I'm against birth control
yeah,
also.
I am.
Oh yeah, why are you ladies against birth control?
Yeah,
I was
genuinely asking.
Personally, I mean, if women have a way to stop, you know what I mean, like, how do I describe it? There should be a way for a man to like be on birth control as well.
Oh, come on, that's a bad argument.
No. Because what it does to women, like from what I've seen firsthand with a lot of my friends who just went through birth control, any type of birth control, from the arm to the shot to the pill. You know what I mean? I always just see the negative. The only fucking positive is that they don't get pregnant, and that's a 98% chance at that, or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's too much.
But don't you see the reason why it's women?
It benefits the men more than the women.
No. Hold on. Pause. So don't you see why it's the women? Because you guys have 100% of the choice.
We have
No, that's a fact though.
percent
But
of the
guys are always
Yes.
pitching it. It's always a guy first. Hey, babe, you want to get on birth control?
Yeah.
Or hey, you want to try doing let's go raw?
I mean, by the end of the day,
No, one at a time. Go ahead.
It's always a guy.
Okay,
It's
but
always
by
about
the end
what?
of the day, of course, they're gonna offer it to us as a woman because we are essentially the one that has to have it for 9 months. Our body's the one that's gonna.
That's what I'm
change.
saying, yeah.
So the biggest avoidance is
You can't put a
protecting ourselves. You know, you can't put a condom on as well. Like a condom is a male's birth control, but we don't have like men don't have birth control, but we don't have condoms. either.
Men can have a vasectomy. Why is it
No,
not?
but
Hold on. I'm not getting no- One at a time. Go ahead.
But realistically, yes, men can have a vasectomy. But let's talk about the question. The question is talking about children. Are you really going to take your 14-year-old son to go get a vasectomy because you don't want to put your?
No, you don't gotta do that.
No, but you give
They
him
got
a
male
condom.
birth control.
Well, then
They
I
got
just need
male
the
birth
Yes, they
conversation
do.
we had
That's
with the
probably
son
new
that-
and haven't been tested.
Yeah, it's
I've
new.
never heard of
But what
that.
about the females? We haven't been tested, and they put us through man trials and shit. And now what? We got
Because
all
you
these
take
side
the
effects.
risk of sex.
We did.
I mean,
You
Hold
do
on.
take the
Everybody
risk
pause.
of
Everybody
sex?
pause. I'm talking to her
Do
real
you
quick.
take the risk
You
of
know,
sex?
you take the risk of sex because you can have a baby.
Both take the
No,
risk of
boo-boo.
sex.
No,
We
boo-boo.
both, right?
No,
This
no.
is a two-way thing.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
No,
If-
because when you lay
without
down with a
sperm-
woman,
without
you
your
gotta
sperm, you can't
calculate
have a
when
baby.
you
Hold on, one at a time.
put.
Go ahead.
When you lay down with a woman, right? You gotta calculate when you gotta pull out or whatever, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
But
pull
if you
out.
don't pull out in time, you know you got pre-cum, you got a lot of things you gotta take into account. You can put a condom. Oh, but now you don't wanna put a condom because it feels better when it's raw, right?
Exactly.
My point is, since you have 100% of the choice, you have 100% of the accountability.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
Who said no?
I feel like he's right, and the only reason why I say I feel like he's right is because by the end of the day, a man can have sex with you. It's a two-person decision, right? We both have sex. He nutted me and he dip off, and I never see him again.
Yep.
You're
now
done.
what am I?
Because you know what the funny thing is?
Yes, he is wrong for whatever he did, but I didn't do anything to protect myself.
But the funny thing is, he
smart.
can go ahead and get you pregnant, and then he can get her pregnant, then he can get her pregnant, then he can get me
Right.
pregnant.
And then it's like, why?
Can I jump in? Can I
But
jump in?
it's still
Yeah,
our
talk to me.
choice.
It's still women's
And
choice
we
at the end of the day.
still have 100% of what's going on.
I'm on
Okay.
birth control.
I really didn't want to skip you, but I'll address some of the points that you ladies made, right? Answer the question. I think that's a hypocritical thing to do. I think it's hypocritical to tell your son that, yo, like, this is how you have sex, and then tell your daughter that, yo, or not even talk to her about it, that you shouldn't have sex.
He's being avoidant.
But that being said,
who
that being
are the
said,
guys gonna
that
fuck if the girls don't
that
know?
being said, you ladies are trying to speak about sex as if sex is the same for men and women. Sex is not the same for men and women. That's coming from a man who's celibate. I don't even have sex. But from a male perspective, sex is completely different. When a woman is having sex with multiple men, she releases oxytocin in her brain, which is a hormone supposed to be for bonding and affection. This is the same hormone that women release when they're having children. So when a woman has sex with a man and the man leaves, basically what the woman is doing is she's training herself psychologically to be not suitable for long-term relationships. That's not the case with men. So when a man has sex, a man can be completely emotionally uninvolved and continue having sex. Not that I'm condoning it, not that I'm saying that a man should be doing that, but from a biological and psychological perspective, it's possible for a man. Versus a woman is taking a lot more risk when she's having sex. As you just said, if a man gets her pregnant and he leaves, she has no option but to go through with taking care of the baby.
Yeah.
There's a lot more risk involved as far as a female goes versus where a man goes.
I was gonna say that it's
You go
bigger
ahead.
risk on females.
That's what I said at the beginning. It's all the risk on females.
It's all the risk on females, but it all literally comes
Fuck stupid.
from like, you know what I mean? Like I said, from the man. So I feel like if it is the case where we should be on birth control, then a man should be. I mean, honestly, until like there is a case where like men are able to get on birth control, then I'll gladly take birth control. But until then, I'm just not gonna have. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's a choice too to have sex or not.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
just not gonna choose to.
I'll be
have
honest though.
free sex.
I'll be honest though. If there was a male birth control,
There is.
All right, so most
But
of
it
you
feels that's
ladies,
common.
most of you ladies would not be attracted to the type of man that would be okay with taking male birth control.
You don't know
hold
that.
on. Hold on. I want to hear more about that. Talk to me.
I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
All right. Before I even get into it, right? So women are naturally attracted to what in a man? Confidence, assertiveness, somebody who knows himself and is willing to lead and follow his own path, right? Naturally, this is proven that women are attracted to this in a man. If you're telling a man to take male birth control and he goes ahead and he says, yeah, I'm gonna do it, I'll tell you something. That man is not assertive and he's not confident in himself because naturally speaking, men protect their seed. Men are only invested in protecting their seed, and that's
Y'all don't
why.
act like it.
Don't say y'all.
Hold on, one at a time. One at a time. Go ahead.
The men that don't protect their seed goes back to what we were talking about before. Psychologically weak. They don't have the strength or the willpower to protect their seed. But a man who knows how to protect his seed is not going to take male birth control at any cost.
Okay.
So isn't it the same for a woman who doesn't take birth control too? Isn't she just like?
Oh, I'm not saying women should take birth control. I would say the best solution is to just stop having sex.
Okay.
I agree with that, actually. Well, hold on. I don't agree with that. Hold on.
Hold
on. I don't agree with that.
But if you're being realistic, if you as a woman don't feel comfortable taking birth control because of whatever effects that it may take, but you also don't want to run the risk of having a child, then either don't have sex or have the man put on the condom and just make sure you stand there and is it on? Let me check.
Make sure he don't break it.
You know, I mean, you can't make sure that shit happens in the midst of having sex. Like, I mean, so shit can break or whatever the case may be, but you have to know your partner. You have to know that, okay, the shit broke. Are you going to keep going? Are you going to put, like, you know, it's about honesty or whatever.
Yeah, but I think rational goes out the window.
Hold that other person accountable. And for me, like, if I didn't know about no male birth control, I'm going to just sit here and be honest. But as long as that man got a condom on, then
there you go.
I mean, it is what it is.
It still goes back to what you said about your dad, though. Like he said, be aware about who you lay with and whatever. If you be with them. So I think
I'm not laying down with just any old body at any old time anyway. Like I don't do the whole casual one and done, one night, whatever.
Yeah.
So if I'm laying down with you, just know that I rock with you on a
lot of different levels. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I also, like I said, it's the stigma that my father put in my head at a very, very, very young age. Yo, sex is good, baby girl. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. Once you try it, I'm not gonna be able to stop you. But what I will tell you is just be prepared. It may not happen today, but just be prepared to see that person in your life for the next 18 to 26 years.
If something fucks up. But here's one thing that all of y'all didn't say. Sex for men and women is not the same. So if a man has sex with a lot of different women, his value doesn't necessarily decrease. But if a woman has sex with multiple dudes, her value actually does decrease.
Just like
I'm sorry,
I think so.
That's one big thing that y'all didn't.
There's one thing. Right. See, I can't.
Do y'all agree with that?
Do y'all agree or disagree with that?
No. Debate.
Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead.
When it comes to this debate, I'm sorry, but it's a man's word. I'm gonna forever say it. This society was constructed on men, and they exploited a lot of women, and that's another topic. So a lot of the things that a lot of people see that is right or wrong nowadays is based off of a man.
Right.
The world is not fair.
Yeah, we know that. So it's like we could say whatever we want, but at the end of the day, it's gonna go back to man's standards, right?
100%.
No,
okay, then.
not true.
No, that is
true. We're in different times. We got different opinions. We could voice ourselves and stuff. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, a lot of things are based on how these men built the society.
Coming from a large family, my father has 26 kids.
Damn.
Like me and 4 of my sisters graduated the same year.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was still married and still having babies by other people that wasn't his wife. My dad has so many kids, he can't be put on child support. It's really no backfire on my father's end.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to be a deadbeat, he has that choice to be
exactly.
a deadbeat. He's not, but that's his choice. The woman is still stuck with it. The wife is still stuck with knowing that my father fucked the whole country, like.
But that's what goes back to my point of the woman take responsibility of all those choices.
Right, 100%. I'm agreeing.
I would love to break down for you guys, and again, like I said, this is coming from a person who's celibate, so I don't be having sex, but I would love to explain how sex is different for men versus women, right? So let's call it the sexual marketplace, right? Sexual marketplace includes everybody who's wanting to have sex or wants to have a relationship partner, right? So how is value determined? When you go to buy a car, right? How do you determine the value of that car? The value of that car is determined by how much you're willing to pay for it versus how much somebody else is selling it for, right? So it goes, let's bring that perspective into relationships, right? The sexual market value of a woman is determined by who? As much as you guys don't want to hear it, it's by men. And a man's sexual market value is determined by women. But the mistake that women make is thinking that men are attracted to the same things that women are attracted to, which could not be more false. When a man is getting a lot of women, it means that he has accomplished something or he has figured something out within himself that makes him attractive to those women. He's confident, he's assertive, he's a leader, he has shit going for himself. That's not what men look for in women. What men look for in women is purity, submissiveness, sweetness, girls that have not been touched by other dudes. Because frankly speaking, if I had my girl right here and I knew that Don had done something with my girl, it's not even a me and Don thing. I would just naturally have something against him and I would have a protective mechanism over my girl with like even him making eye contact with her, because I'd be like, yo, get away from her. Naturally speaking, men are territorial. Men do not want to, from a sexual standpoint, sure, a man will sleep with women that have slept with other men. But from a relationship perspective and a marriage perspective, a man does not want to be with a girl who's been sexually exposed to the world.
Vice versa. I would not want my man who had also, if she's been with her, I don't think I would.
I actually disagree. Hold on. I gotta talk. I actually disagree. No. I actually disagree with you. You might not like that he does that, but you like the qualities that he gained by doing that.
No, I wouldn't. I genuinely would not. If she was like my, like the bitch that she, like, you know what I mean? Me and her are like this. If I knew that a guy I, somehow been attracted to or whatever did have sexual relationships with her, and just like you said, she's making even the slightest eye contact, I'm territorial because that is, you know what I mean? It's the same vice versa. I think men and women are just as territorial.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but it's on a completely different spectrum as far as a man level goes. Men are naturally DNA encoded to be territorial. So what that means is, like, as much as women don't like it, I'm not saying that women aren't their individual people, but once you're my girl, which means that I don't want to say control, because it's not about controlling the woman, but it's about being in control. I don't want to put my woman in a place where she has the opportunity where I can end up embarrassed or I can look bad in front of other men.
And that's vice versa, though. I feel like, it's, I guess, to each his own then, but for me personally, I feel the exact same way if it was like my marks of pain.
I think that's fair. Exactly. But I think that's fair, but for that, I think for a woman, and I'm not saying this because like I'm not like promoting this. I'm not saying that this is a good thing, but what I'm saying is for women, most women want a high value male, what we define as a high value male. And the sad reality is, in the West especially, if you want a high value males in the West, not including myself, but high value males in the West do not normally or typically tie themselves down to one woman.
Just to be clear, define high.
That's
value
exactly
male.
That's why I use the quotations, right? Because my definition of a high value male is actually different from the Western perspective of a high value male. But the definition of a high value male is somebody who's taking control of his own life, meaning he's found financial freedom for himself. He's confident. He's assertive. He knows how to deal with women, because if you could be confident, you could be successful, but if you don't know how to maneuver around women are not naturally going to like you.
And you make a certain amount.
But you also have to break that down, dealing with women, because.
But that's what I was talking about with
women
you.
Are totally.
That's what I was talking about with you. That you may not like a dude sleeping with multiple women around you, but you like the qualities that he gained by doing that.
I mean, I could love the qualities. I can love that he's assertive, that he's a businessman, that he has his own $1 trillion. You know what I mean? I could love a lot of things about him, but I also want to respect. You know what I mean? I also want to have that respect with myself, and I know that he's also like messed with other women, or even one in the same room as me. It embarrasses me like automatically, and I feel that. And there's some women who can carry that differently.
I'm not gonna lie, like if I'm with a dude or whatever and he's had several other partners, and now if we're actually like together, if we're actually like you're mine, I'm yours, and everybody knows it, and we're doing this monogamy thing, I could care less if we walk in a room and all your other girls is in there. Yeah, he's with me now. Like, it gives me a sense of like, yeah, like this is me.
And there's some men who carry the same way.
This is me. Like I could care, like it's me. I don't really like focusing on people's past for real.
I think that's fair.
When it comes to other relationships, because everybody has a past. Everybody just been with, like men have a higher number than most women or whatever.
I disagree.
I disagree too.
I said most women.
I
disagree.
Still?
I think you.
No, it's a lot of men that's not. Yeah, go ahead finish.
Let me talk about what I know, because your circle could be different from my circle. In my circle, the men, me and my brother, for example, like the men have way higher numbers than me.
You also had a great father.
She actually did.
No, but what I'm saying is the men that I know, from my cousins to my uncles to my brother to, I'm just naming all family members, but even like best friends or whatever, like just the men that I know, they have a very, very high number. They got around a lot. You understand what I'm saying?
But you're using that perspective of what you go through in life, and not the dude that works at CVS or the dude that works at McDonald's or anything like that. You're not factoring in those regular dudes.
I mean, okay.
I have a good question for the ladies. I have a good question for the ladies.
Is a regular dude though. I don't care about yourself. Everybody to me is a regular dude. I don't care about how much money you have. You're still a regular dude. You still slept with a number of whatever people. We can go to CVS convention and you done smash half the females in there. I'm still gonna be like, all right, whatever. Like,
Okay.
as long as it wasn't none of my family members, as long as it wasn't like one of my best friends, like I don't care about what you used to do. You're with me.
But see,
like,
that's what-
it's a sense of confidence.
that's different,
And you gotta be
though.
able to hold your own.
It's different. He could walk in the room and fuck some random bitches I never, you know what I mean? I had past relations also, so that's like a different thing. But we're talking about like if it was like your, you know what I mean?
So-
and that was your homegirl, or that was like, you know what I mean? He was just speaking on like this scenario right
So
here.
I have a question for all the ladies, just going back to what you said real quick. And like I said, I'm not like, I believe everything you're saying, but you also, the way you're speaking and your perspective sounds like you come from a really healthy family, which is not the case for most Western people, not just girls, but people in general in the West. But on a, I guess like a guessing basis, right? What percentage of men do you girls think are having sex?
Why you gonna ask this question? I hate this.
Out of a general perspective.
Let's start with this one. Let's actually start with this one. Go ahead. Out of 100, what percentage you think is actually smashing a consistent new girl on a consistent basis?
What is consistent?
I don't know, maybe
70.
2 weeks. 75?
75%.
75%? Okay. What about you?
Okay, so I'm gonna be real about this. I don't know if I could put a percentage, but I know it's not easy for men to lay down like it is for women.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
we can pick whoever we want. We always got Franks coming at us,
Options.
Yes,
you know,
options,
all
yes.
the time. Whereas to men, they gotta work to get that.
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't know what percentage to put on that, but that's just my answer.
Take a guess.
Take a guess.
It depends. How does he look? What's his physique or whatever, you know?
Yo,
some men,
just
talking about men in
basis,
general.
general
We're talking about
basis.
in general.
Every man included, what
Yes.
percentage of men do you think are actively having sex?
actively having sex
Yeah.
And then put the microphone
on a
closer.
consistent basis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 45%.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down in two categories.
Okay,
right?
talk to me.
Okay. So
I like you.
If we're talking about high schoolers, I'm gonna say smashing somebody new. I'm gonna say the percentage is high. I'm gonna give them about at least 40%.
Let's cut high school out of it. We're talking about
Yeah,
a
yeah.
general
But
population. of men.
that's why I said I'm gonna break it down into two categories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So high schoolers, I'm gonna say their numbers is gonna be, but grown men who actually work and they're single and they're out here and about, I'm really gonna say about 15 to 20%.
15 to 20. Okay.
No, I was gonna get around the same number, like 27, 35.
27, okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know where I seen 27 from, but 27% just came into my mind.
Okay.
I agree. I think it's like 20-25%.
Okay. You should definitely know those numbers.
Yeah, no, men are way-
Don't do that.
It's a lot of men that don't be fucking.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's my point. You should know those numbers more than anybody.
Yeah, I would say like 25, 30%.
Okay.
I'm at about a 40%.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna still stay on the low end, like 25 to 35%, because like you said, men have to work to get to that point with
Yes.
women, whereas women are like, do I want to lay down with this person? I forgot what comedian said a
Hey, hold
woman
on.
knows in the
My
first
bad.
5 minutes whether she wants to have sex with that guy.
Okay. All right, real quick before I pass it to you, because I know you about to spit some fire. Mr. Trent, can you pull up that super chat? Mr. Engineer.
25? Somebody said 25 is too high.
It is too high.
It is too high. We'll get to it. We're about to get there. We got to do that.
Wait,
Mr. Engineer, he says that man spitting. He's
y'all
talking
don't
about you.
want,
Hold on, real quick. Let's see. I don't even know how to pronounce this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Tolupo says nothing. He just sent a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that. He sends another super chat. He says the male birth control trials failed. Trials failed. It made the men who participated in the trial important and can never have a child again. God damn. Impotent. I'm sorry.
Can we go
Impotent.
back
How
to the
many
male
women
birth
died
control?
though?
Well, hold on. One at a time. Go
We
ahead.
were talking about like, and I guess this is more of like a question for you guys. Like we talked about male birth control in the form of like, basically like how female birth control is as like a pill. And when I shot out the word vasectomy, you got excited. And I understand the point of like not
You got
taking.
excited. You got excited.
You were like, no, not a
Shorty said
vasectomy.
That's a whole. That's a whole procedure. That's
and I
why.
Not
understand-
exciting.
Well, I understand the whole perspective. Like, you do not want to take a very young boy in to get a vasectomy. You know, like that's kind of a lot. Like, I understand that perspective. I just want to gain kind of yours because a vasectomy is reversible. You can have it done and then you can have it undone when you do want to have children. I just want to gain like your perspective on like what if that's what was placed on the table rather than like females, you know, either having birth control or us having like ovaries removed. What if it was like, why don't men, when they're at the age, you know, decide to just have a vasectomy when they don't have children and then have it reversed when they want to have children?
There's scientific
like, how do you feel
repercussions
about
to that. So I really want to address the point we were at before, but just to answer your question, there's serious scientific repercussions to that. So you can have a male vasectomy, but when you get it reversed, there are serious scientific consequences, and it's possible that the vasectomy going in could fail, or you coming out of it could fail as well.
And that's the same thing with the women.
Hold on. As a matter of fact, let's actually go back to the other conversation we was having.
I'll cover this point in the answer to the 10 to 20%. The answer to that question is 10 to 20% of males are sexually active. And this is partly why sex is different for men and women as well, right? Because what you just said, women have the option of being able to lay down with whoever they want. For a man to lay down with a woman, he has to bring some serious qualities that women are attracted to the table. For the most part, when a man acquires those attributes, it means that he's been through certain things and he's overcome certain challenges in the world and in himself for him to be attractive to women like that. So when a man unlocks that level of attributes within himself, naturally speaking, for men, again, like, so women by the age of 20, 22, they're getting a whole lot of attention from men. Most 21-year-old guys feel like losers. Men don't start getting attention from women up until the age of like 30, when they really start discovering who they are and they start building themselves as an actual man.
Their mama basement.
So going back to the point that men and women are completely different in that sense. And this kind of answers your vasectomy question as well. The reason why it doesn't make sense, and I'm not for birth control either. When I say that, I'm not saying women should be taking birth control, but the reason why a man will not get a vasectomy or shouldn't get a vasectomy is because for a man, the reason men are so picky with who they choose for their wives, they're not picky with who they have sex with, but they were very picky with who they put a ring on. It's because whoever they're putting a ring on is the woman that's carrying their lineage. The sole purpose of a man, once he actually becomes a man, is to create lineage, which goes back to polygamy. You guys are not going to like this. I believe in polygamy. I think polygamy makes sense for a man. It does not make sense for a woman. Psychologically speaking, what I said before, when a woman has sex, women naturally, biologically are encoded within their DNA to look for security from one man versus a man. I think polygamy makes sense, not for me to have a wife or have a girl and just be like, yo, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna screw other girls to throw it in her face. Nah, but if I got a girl and I'm having kids with her and she's had 3 or 4 of my kids and shorty's like, yo, I'm tired and my body's breaking down, that's all right, baby. You're gonna stay in my crib. I'm gonna take care of you.
And
but I'm bringing another shorty in so she could continue my lineage. You can continue having my seeds.
And what are your thoughts on that?
So like after,
It's not for me.
She said,
however.
So
Talk to me.
like, I mean, I don't know. Just kind of going into, I feel like that's why men should have birth control, because it's just like, it's so easy for a man to just like, when a woman is done, when she is tired, but like, it's supposed to be me and you, babe. Like, it's supposed to be us till the end. Why do you want to continue?
Says that?
Well, that's the agreement that we have to come
Exactly, the
upon.
agreement.
Exactly. Who says that?
So
But that's what you were just speaking on, the marriage agreement.
That's a good point. What is the purpose of marriage? What is the purpose of marriage?
You pointed this way.
Honey, look, I'm 32 and still single, so I don't fucking.
I don't believe in marriage.
So let me spit some facts, right? The purpose of a
Security, right?
The purpose of a marriage is to create a family, right? So a family, just like a business, right? I operate businesses, right? So if I'm operating a business and I'm lacking a marketing guy, guess what? My marketing department is falling down. People are not seeing my product. I got a sales guy who's there to close the people that are coming through from the marketing guy. If the sales guy is not there, then things are not being closed off. The purpose of a marriage is to make a family work. In order to make a family work, females, as much as, again, this goes back to gender roles. Women don't like saying that they have gender roles or men have gender roles, but gender roles are very real in the equation to make a marriage successful. So as far as riding or dying, it's like I said, it's not so much so, and I'm not saying this is the case for every guy either, right? When a woman is coming into my household and she's having my babies, she's taken care of for life. The babies are taken care of for life. But as a man, I have the right, if she comes to a point where she says that I don't want to have any more kids, my body's breaking down, I'm tired. I'm not saying I'm going to start treating her like shit or I'm going to kick her out the crib. Nah, I'm going to take care of shorty for life. You're the mother of my children. You are taken care of for a fact. But that does not take the right away from me as a man for me to continue my lineage. I should be allowed to continue having babies.
I think
What are your ladies' thought on that? I need to hear this.
I don't know. Love is getting taken out of the equation right now, and I think that's what I am. When I am in, in a marriage or whatever, it's love. At the end of the day, it's not about continuing.
Marriage is not about love.
I would argue marriage is not about love.
So no, I didn't get to my point though. Like
Okay,
I don't personally believe in marriage as far as on paper. I believe marriage for you means a little bit different. Marriage for me, honestly, it's kind of just a way for the government. It's a conspiracy.
I agree.
If it's just a way for the government to like, you know, watch you. So I feel like if we were to get married, then we can just do it without all the paperwork and all that. So that comes with, that's why I'm in it for love. Like, I don't care.
So that's an ideal perspective, right?
No, it's not an ideal perspective. It's just what I am going to continue, like, base my morals off of when I do get married. It's going to be based off love.
I think love is part of a marriage.
I also feel like, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I also feel like love, like when you love is, you know, it's an active commitment to love somebody because you're not always going to be in love with somebody.
But he wasn't really talking about love. He was talking about marriage.
No, so that's what we're saying. Like, it's getting taken out of marriage now.
No, some people look at marriage as
go ahead.
love.
Yeah.
You know, like they tie marriage with being in love with each other.
And it's not.
Committed for
That's
life.
Disney.
So,
That's Disney fairy tales. That's not
fairy tales.
Marriage is not about love.
My only thing is, I'm big on communication, right? And just based off of how you are and how you express yourself, I feel like you would be big on communication as well. So before you even enter into that business contract of marriage, you know, wouldn't that be a conversation of like, okay, so listen, I want to continue my lineage, and what that means is I want 10 kids. Can your ovaries produce me 10 kids? Like, are you willing to give me 10 kids from your body?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
And if she says, yeah, I'm with it, I got you, 10 kids, whatever, and then she breaks down or whatever you said, her body break down, or she's just worn out physically from giving your kids, then that should be another conversation as far as like, all right, well, you know, I wanted 10 kids, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I have a question for the man.
Those three over there, I want to. Do y'all have anything to say before I move it on back over here?
Well, I just think like, I mean, I guess that brings me more into like love and like your idea of like polygamy. I feel like there are ways for you to be able to continue your lineage with your wife without having to bring in a completely other like person, whether that's surrogacy or like something else where, you know, as a wife, I would feel more comfortable if you were like, if I was like, I'm sorry, like I can no longer like produce any more children, and you were like, okay, let's seek out a surrogate who can then like have children for us, rather than you being like, I'm gonna go find another woman, like I'll take care of you, but like I'm gonna go find.
That's not even the
woman.
approach I would take though. Just saying.
But yeah, but I like that general like concept. I wouldn't feel as comfortable in that like respect as in doing something like that. Like I would prefer for us to have like a conversation of secrecy. Also, I believe that like compromise is important, and like she said, like communication, and like if we got to the point like, you know, I'm gonna try, you want 10 kids, I'm gonna try and get to 10 kids. But if my body can't get to like 10 kids, can't we like
that's fair.
Yeah, but then that's something you gotta figure out. Like I said, if y'all are looking at it as it's a business, then if y'all are looking at it as a business, to say, you know, women, we take the love out of it. All right, let's go ahead and enter into this business contract, right? So that means I need to do everything that I need. You put a number on children, right? I need to do what I need to do as far as like physical.
My number is more.
Evaluations and okay, well, listen,
So
sir.
people
If you
want
around
to
here
take
having 87 kids.
Well, hold on, real quick, Trent. Can you click that button off the?
But what I'm saying
comment?
is
and then
go. You know, I need to go see if I'm physically able to do that before we enter into this contract bond. Because what I'm not gonna do is I'm not for no other woman being with my husband. That's just period. That's just but that's just me speaking. So if I can't enter into a contract, I have no issue. Like, all right, you know, well, maybe I'm not for you. You're not for me. Friends to the end.
You know, I'll be honest. This is just my personal opinion, right? I said I'm celibate. Doesn't mean I was always celibate. I've dated girls before. I've had girlfriends. I've been in serious relationships. I've hooked up. I've messed around, right? This is my personal perspective. If you're with a woman and a woman feels like she's taken care of and she feels secure around you and you know how to communicate with that woman, I really think, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, I think it's actually beautiful, and this is the part of love, right? I think a woman will make whatever compromise she has to make for you if she feels absolutely secure with you and she trusts you.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Like I'm down to give, like I'm not married, I haven't been married, but I'm down to give my husband whatever, however many kids. Like I wouldn't care. You know, I don't want to have kids out of wedlock. Obviously I have some, but I wouldn't want any more out of wedlock. Like that's just my personal decision. And when it does come into that contract or that marriage that we're entering into, I'm with whatever my husband is with. You get what I'm saying? I'm not okay with another woman
coming inside.
Into my
again,
marriage.
I think it comes.
That's not what I signed up for.
I think it comes down to this, right? Like, so essentially what we were getting at before, the Western perspective is that marriage is about love. marriage is a piece of love. I'm not saying a marriage shouldn't have love. There should be love in a marriage, but it is absolutely a choice for you to love that person, because just like your job or your passion, we're doing this podcast. There's a lot of work that comes behind this podcast. He's not always going to love doing it. He might have a piece of him that loves it, but there's always going to be extra effort involved that he didn't anticipate. It's the same thing with a marriage. Love is a part of marriage, but it's not the whole thing. Marriage is about responsibility and duty, right?
Yes.
That being said, I personally feel like if you come to a point eventually where shorty doesn't want to have kids anymore, whatever, and this is my personal belief, and I feel like I've experimented it enough with girls that I court and girls that I talk to. If you know how to explain it to them and you know how to get the message across, personally speaking, if I had a girl and she didn't want to have kids anymore, I'd be like, babe, help me find another girl. I'd be like, yo, find a sister for yourself.
I have a question. But I honestly think that would work for you, because I honestly feel like you would communicate that way before y'all even got to that point. Like, it would be communication. Like, the woman would know what she was getting into dealing with you, and she would be that type of woman.
I wouldn't say it maybe I would. Maybe I would communicate that before I even got with a girl. But what I'm saying is, I've actually
bluntly, but it would be spoken in so many ways.
Even
well,
with
hold on, real quick.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. What?
Okay, so I want to know, what's your opinion then if the roles were reversed and we entered them? No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What if we entered a remarriage and I said I want 10 kids and you as a man can't give me 10 kids? Like, what if something happened with your male genitals?
Your penis breaks, let's say it.
You can't give me
you
10
run out of
kids.
you
Are
run
you
out
gonna
of
be okay
juice.
with helping me find another side nigga on the side?
The reason that doesn't make sense.
Because you agreed. You said you agreed.
The reason that doesn't make sense. The reason that doesn't make sense is from a DNA perspective. Men and women are born differently, which means that psychologically, the brain that I have in my head is different than the brain that you have in your head. A woman is not capable of having multiple partners at the same time. She might be able to pull it off for a month, 6 months, a year. Eventually, a woman will get to a point where she will not be emotionally able to handle multiple dudes. Women's psychology is not made in that format. That being said, if you were a dude and you say you want to have 10 kids and he doesn't want to have 10 kids, then I guess it goes back to what she was saying. You should have communicated that before.
It's that he can't.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, we entered. No, I'm saying, like, what if you entered the marriage and y'all both agreed? How you said with the same situation with male versus female, y'all agreed to go in that marriage, and you said, I can give you 10 kids. You, as my husband, said, I can give you 10 kids.
But nobody can really
And then we find out a year down the line, I'm not getting pregnant. I can't get pregnant. Then we go to the doctor, and they tell you, oh, it's because your sperm. There's something wrong with your sperm. What am I supposed to do?
Let's put it into perspective, right? Just to give you the opposing side of it. If I married a girl, if I had a shorty and I put a ring on her and we went to the doctor and the doctor said shorty can't have kids, I wouldn't abandon her. That's not her fault that she can't have kids. I would still keep shorty with me.
Facts.
But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna have kids. I'm gonna still tell shorty that, yo, you're my baby, I love you. Help me find a second wife.
That's what I wanted to talk
I love this shit.
Why does it have to be a second wife?
One at a time. You was saying something. Go
Help
ahead.
me find a second husband?
No.
Like, that's what I'm asking.
Why does
You
that have to
wouldn't
be
be able
the
to handle a second
wife?
husband.
You wouldn't be able to handle a second husband.
Because
I'll tell you what.
Hold on, one at a time.
What does a second wife mean? Like, what does that does the responsibility come like still, like, is it the
That's
same as the
helpful
first
for you.
one?
It's helpful for you.
Facts.
If I have a second wife in the crib, that means the load has been taken off you.
In the crib, same household.
I got a big house.
Oh, Lord.
I got a big house.
No,
Well, my guess is crazy out here.
it's about knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, and I know I wouldn't be able. That's just me. I wouldn't be able to handle
I understand that.
So again, we could be friends to the end.
Okay, hold on real quick.
I can be your wingman, but I can't be your wife.
Nah, I feel
Hold on real quick. Morningstar sends a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. He says, men love I'm sorry, can you say that word? Idealistically, aka real. Your body and personality ready to die for you. Women love opportunistically. How do you say the word?
Opportunistically.
Opportunistically. On the fact that men provide. Actually, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God. See, this is so crazy to me. I don't know if do other women really think I don't know how to describe it, but he has so much money. I don't know. He's so stable. That shit turns me on. I don't know. I think the same as
Actually, I can speak to that.
No. To a certain extent, I think the idea if a man has what he has, yes, that's great. That's a plus. But
Are you being sarcastic or not?
Yeah,
no,
I'm confused.
Okay, no. It's just your
women,
body and your personality ready to die for. Women love opportunity and the fact that men can provide.
I'm gonna say yes to that question.
I agree and disagree with that.
I agree and disagree.
I'm gonna say I agree.
Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that I don't love. Yes, obviously everybody want to be loved. I get it. I want to be loved. You want to be loved. Whatever. But that's not the main goal for me. I've been very independent and I take care of myself. I take care of my own household. And the only reason why I agree with the fact that I do look at what the man can provide, because I want him to be able to provide the same thing that I'm providing.
Exactly.
That's fair.
Okay.
And that's only because I know what I'm bringing to the table.
Right.
So
Okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you
So
go ahead.
that's where men and women are different again, right?
I was about to say.
What you just said. You said I want a man who can provide at least on the same level as me. Women date
Not
up.
necessarily on the same level, just still be able to provide something.
Yeah. Okay.
On a bounce of generalities, right? Speaking from a general perspective, naturally speaking, women like men who make more money than them and are doing well, and that's not a bad thing. Like when people say women are gold diggers, that's retarded, bro.
To me too.
If a woman is attracted to a man who makes money, it's not the actual Lamborghini that's attracting her. It's not the actual watch that's attracting her. What's attracting her is the fact that he has his shit together, the fact that he can provide and there's security there.
Right.
But going back to what you just said, again, that's where men and women are different, because women naturally, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, women are naturally attracted to men who are doing well because it shows certain characteristics and attributes. It shows that a man can take care of himself.
Right.
I don't mind dating a girl who makes $0 a year. $0 a year. I would prefer a girl who makes $0 a year over a girl who makes $100K a year.
Facts.
For a
And
fact.
why is that?
Because of the qualities that. Well, no, go ahead.
It's for the fact that if a woman is making $100,000 a year, it means that her career is her priority.
Yep.
I don't want a girl whose priority is her career. I want a woman whose priority is my family and what we're building together.
And number two, hold on, real quick. And number two, the reason she got to $100,000 a year is the qualities that she got to that. So she was probably dominant. She probably assertive. No, I'm talking about qualities that's like masculine.
Attributes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
You
No,
said
and I
something.
get that. I get that.
I
Some
understand
women that run their business, I'm sorry, they are very masculine and very like
Yeah.
manly in a sense.
You're right.
Because masculinity is action, though. That's part of masculinity. But I do agree with you on what you said before. But I'm just gonna say there's one simple fact that everybody knows is that women are nurturers. So we're gonna whatever we nurture, we invest in. So yes, if we invest in our career, that does not mean that we don't have the space to invest in our men, invest in our children, because we're capable of
I disagree. I disagree because women, like I said, psychologically speaking, women are very different in terms of psychology than men are, and men have the advantage of being able to compartmentalize. When I say, all right, on a hypothetical standpoint, men are able to take, that's why men can have sex without emotions. We can take sex and put it on one side of our brain and then take the emotional aspect and tell ourselves, hey, this is not the girl to get emotionally attached to, and put it on a different side of our brain and not relate the two at all.
Women can't do that.
Women cannot do that.
Women can't do that. No, hold on. I want to add, women can't do that long term.
Long term, women are incapable of doing that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's beauty to that. It means women are supposed to be loyal.
Honestly, trying to listen and hear both sides, I personally feel like we're making relationships more complicated than what it is. I also feel like it's less of a relationship and more of like a business partner aspect. I feel like as females, we look for someone that could lighten the load every now and then, help us out, or not even help us out if we're sturdy, we look for certain qualities that men don't look for, but I don't see it as a relationship anymore. Going back to the marriage thing, when you guys were like lack of love, I feel like, was there ever, back in the day, people married for, their families would marry them.
Okay, yeah.
If you're in a cult, they choose your wife for you.
Those marriages were actually more successful.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were more successful. They did that based off of,
and it was without that.
And how this would be good for the family if you combine the families together. Like that's how they kind of did it back in the day.
It was a business. It was a business.
And it's not to say that men don't want those same things. That's just not priority.
You said something?
Oh, I was saying, like in those cases, that was a formulated business transaction. That's why it was the most successful, because everyone knew what they were getting.
What was expected of them.
Yeah. Which is why the concept of falling in love and getting married because we're so deeply meant to be together is honestly ignorant and a delusional fallacy.
It is.
Damn. Facts.
I'm actually learning that.
And a guy should
not coming at you for that.
Yeah, we're not coming at you. But a guy shouldn't be getting married for love.
No, I mean, I feel that too, but damn, it really does. And I feel like that's why the dating pool in our age is so, I don't know, like wonky now. I don't know. It's just like.
I disagree.
Do you
because
disagree?
It's always been like that.
It's always been like that?
It's always been a business. It's
always
been
that.
I'll tell you what's changed. I'll tell you what's changed.
Social media and
and
reality
the options of
shows
women.
and love and hip hop, and so that's what kind of made it. It's always been like that, but it's now more amplified, and everybody's kind of really going off.
I would arguably say that sexual liberation for women was an excuse to basically lack take lack of accountability for personal actions. So basically,
Explain. Hold on. You gotta say that one more time. Run it back.
Talk to me, bye.
So I would say that sexual liberation for women was an excuse or a delusional marketing tactic to basically allow women to have sex without being able to take any personal accountability or responsibility for the actions that they're taking. If you guys would like me to explain that, I'm happy to.
Yeah. No, we know. I got it.
Hold on, one at a time.
Please explain.
All right, I'll explain it, right? So goes back to the conversation again that sex is completely different for men and women.
Right.
When men are having sex, men are able to completely compartmentalize why they're having sex versus if they're actually having sex for meaningful purposes.
Right.
Women think that, oh, because we're open to be able to having sex, we should be having sex and we can be having sex. And because we can have sex, it makes us powerful and independent.
It does not.
But from a psychological standpoint, scientifically speaking, if you look at our statistics of happiness, the saddest demographic of women is basically women who are at the age of 40 and above making over $100,000 a year. What that shows, or that specific study shows, is that women derive happiness long-term throughout life from being able to establish a successful family and have children and being able to secure a man. But the fallacy of feminism, which feminism first wave was basically to allow women to have voting rights. Second wave was to basically, get them out into the world. And third wave feminism is basically about fuck men. But anyways, coming back to the point that when women were sexually liberated and told to go out into the world and have sex, women took that on as we're free now. But really, from a scientific perspective, psychologically speaking, you're causing trauma to yourself. You're depriving yourself of being able to actually be able to establish a long-term relationship due to the psychological traumas that you're causing yourself from the chemicals that are released each time a woman has sex with a man and she leaves.
Now
Thoughts?
that does make
So
sense.
where's the wrong
that
in
makes
that,
sense.
though? I mean,
Wrong in that. Oh, go ahead. No, go
Well,
ahead.
no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, isn't that the point? If it's a business transaction and shit, and I'm gonna keep going through the ones that I just like into, I mean, isn't that the same? Do you guys not go through like some type of like trauma yourself? I mean, if you're
No, because
constantly
men.
going-
No.
I mean, I understand
From a
like you
sexual
can like
standpoint, nah.
No.
not from a sexual standpoint, because I mean, from a sexual standpoint, going through man,
It's another thing, right? I'll put it into perspective for you. I'll put it into perspective for you, right? As a man, when I date multiple women, which like I said, I don't. But if I was to date multiple women and I was going around, I'm having sex with them. But what I'm able to do is able to vet each woman and realize I like this quality, I like this quality, I like this quality, I like this quality. I'm gonna look for this girl who has a roundabout attribute of those qualities. I'm not saying a woman can't do the same thing from a rational perspective where she dates a man, she's like, oh, I like this quality in a man, I like this quality in a man, I like this quality in a man. Let me look for a man that has all of these qualities. What I am saying is from a psychological perspective, when a woman is going around having sex, regardless of if you're conscious about the fact that you're just having sex to have sex, from a psychological perspective, the way that your brain works is you release oxytocin. Oxytocin is the same chemical that's released when a woman has a baby. It's a bonding hormone. So when a woman has sex with the man and she releases oxytocin through her brain and that man leaves, what you're teaching your psychology, your brain, because let's go back a step, our brain is working off repetitive actions. We're creatures of habit. So when a man has sex with you and he leaves, basically what you're teaching your brain is that I'm unable to secure a man. So even when you come across a man that you actually like and that you want to be with, your psychological standpoint will self-sabotage the relationship because you've taught it through habit that I am incapable of being able to secure a man.
That's totally, I do not believe in that whatsoever. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Like, I understand the scientific scientific part of that. But me personally, I mean, I think the same thing that you just said, when you go from one woman, you realize that didn't work, but damn, I like that about her. You know what I mean? You kind of carry that on to the next person. Me personally, I kind of do that. Like, that's what I see. So if I know that one didn't work out, it's not that I'm fucking my head over. It's just I'm saying that's where I would be. Like, I would like to have a polygamy relationship. I would like to have 2 to 3 men that I like.
2 to 3 men.
Let me tell you something.
Flag on the fucking play.
Hold on.
Flag on the fucking play.
If a man is with you and he's allowing
that nigga's a simp.
If he's allowing you to have sex with multiple dudes, I will bet my whole life savings on the fact that you will leave him.
Hold on, like what? Sex wasn't like the initial, you know what I mean? Like
it doesn't matter.
The cause of that, but it went back to I like this attribute about a man. I like what he brings to the table, but I like his humor. I want, you know what I mean? But I like
that's not how men work.
Yeah.
Any man who's willing to allow his women to have multiple partners does not respect himself.
It sounds perfect, right?
And women don't want that either. As much as you're saying you want that, I completely disagree. I do not think you would be happy with that.
I don't.
Go
I
ahead.
just said I don't.
Oh.
I don't.
Yeah.
I can't. I know my weaks and my strengths. Like I know
Women-
my weaknesses and
And
my
that comes
strengths.
to
Like
each
I
his
can't. Yeah, no, and nothing against.
Yeah.
But for me, I can't. No,
It's not
no,
against.
it's not
It's
even-
not about being
that.
against. It's
for
not.
not to impose
Go ahead.
that on a female.
It's not about being against. I'm saying that from a psychological standpoint, from scientific studies, this is a fact. If you go on Google and you research these studies, you will find this, and it is statistically proven that women are incapable of polygamous relationships.
I'll catch you in 5 years. I'll let you know how that goes.
Catch you in 5 years. All right, we got a
I'm
lot
just
of
kidding.
motherfucking super chats. Let's catch up on. All right, let me see. Let me scroll up.
I'm just kidding, y'all. I want one.
No, you probably do want
Yeah,
one.
you wanted love.
No.
Come on.
I'm about to say you wanted love. Now you want polygamy.
off the chain,
The
though.
fuck going on?
I'll say that these people.
All right, Astro Sports in the super chat. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. He says, "This is why DNA is important. So with my $500K a year as a software engineer at Amazon, congratulations, by the way. That's actually pretty dope. I am not going to hold on. I am not going to. I think he meant to say, I am not going to take care of someone else's kids." This is a different conversation, but we can have this conversation. "I will have DNA for all my kids, and I will not have kids with women we are not married."
Okay.
All right.
So he's pretty much saying he's gonna stick to one woman, right?
No, he's saying that his woman is.
Oh.
And just to put it into perspective, I'm not saying that any good man you're gonna find is gonna want polygamy. That's a personal preference.
yeah, of course.
There are plenty of maybe I can't even say there are plenty because the way the West operates is completely
Nah, some
different than the rest of the world.
weird-ass motherfuckers in here.
Yeah, the West is completely different. So in a Western standpoint, I would love to say that, hey, you're probably going to find a good man who makes a good amount of money and is confident and is whatever, and you're going to be able to secure him. But that's a very ideal perspective. It's very hard to do that in the West.
That is true. I wasn't born in the West, so that's why I kind of just like.
Go back home.
Nah.
Go back home.
Go back
All
home.
right, another super chat. Fatty sends a super chat. He says, "They say I would love a red car, but if a green Lambo comes their way, they will take it, no questions asked, and forget the red car they said they want." Okay.
Oh, is that in response to
assumption.
women
Okay.
in polygamy?
Huh?
I said, is that a response?
What is
to
that
I'm
in a
guessing.
response
I
to?
don't
I think
even
that's
remember.
a response to the. Oh, nah, never mind.
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
never
Say
mind.
I would love a
think
red
that's
car,
what
but
it
if a green
was.
limo comes.
I
Yeah.
think he's basically saying that, and I'm not saying this is what he's saying, but women don't know what they want.
That's an assumption on
Not-
a
okay, so
I
not
actually agree with that,
necessarily-
but
I want the red car.
Okay, so
and
in
the
response
green
to that,
one.
it's not necessarily not knowing what you want. If I say, oh, I like, I don't know, help me, a Michael Kors bag, and
Okay.
you show up with a Chanel, like, it's not saying that I don't know what I want or like. You just exceeded and went above and beyond what I was asking for.
I think what he was trying to imply is the fact that, and I actually do somewhat agree with this, and I'm
Me
sure
too.
if, from a rational and honest perspective,
Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause
guys
I don't
probably
know what
agree.
he means by that.
What he means is that sometimes women say they want a certain thing, but they ask for it, and then they completely forget about the fact that they wanted it. So
And then they go for something else.
and they go for something else.
Which is true, actually.
Yeah, that was in response to.
You said
Don't
what?
men do that?
I'm sorry,
That's
what'd you say?
That's true. Don't men do that?
I said, yeah.
Don't
that
men do
was-
that? Nah.
Yeah, that men don't.
Nah.
We know what we want.
No, we
Cap.
definitely know we want.
No, I can't.
Hold on, no, give her the microphone real quick.
Wait, she
You
wants
said what?
to say something. I
And then
actually want to hear what she wants to say.
Who, her?
I was saying, yeah, that comment was in response to if a woman did polygamy and she like went on and found another guy, that she probably wouldn't stay with the original guy, especially if he was an upgrade.
Talk to him.
Yeah, true.
Talk to him.
Like that's what that was saying. Like you would forget.
But then
about
that
the
wouldn't
red
be
car because you
polygamy.
saw
Then
a
that would just be leaving one guy and going to another one. That's
True.
not really
What if
polygamy.
I want
There. That
the
Hold on,
makes
one
sense.
at a time. Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead.
What if I want the red? Like he said, like, I mean, you see a green Lambo. I'm speaking on, and I guess you guys are saying like scientifically women just can't think like this, but I'm saying like, what if I want the red and the green? What if the red is just, it has some qualities that the green doesn't have? I know that.
Then
Maybe
you
the
end up
green
with none. You don't have a
Or
car.
maybe I end up with both.
You end up without a car. You're going to be walking. Oh my God. You're going to be walking.
If that's the case, then you have your day-to-day car that gets you back and forth
You
to work,
know,
and then you have your weekend
I'll call my
car
green one, and then I'll call
that
my
you go stunt around the city.
But
in.
you know that's
Oh my
that's
God.
contradictory because again you're trying to, like, I don't know if this is what you're trying to do, so I'll keep it at this, right? You said you wanted love. That doesn't sound like love. Even from a feminine perspective, naturally women want to be tied to one man. That's what love is for a woman.
Like you're kind of just speaking on like just solely scientific.
Because science is proven. You can't argue science.
And they talking
You
about
can argue science. I mean, science is argued all the time.
Nah.
But I'm just saying, like, listen, like, What if there is women out here who are living with 3 different husbands? I actually
It won't last.
It won't last. Go ahead.
I just saw it on like a YouTube video. It was a YouTube video. It's like a TikTok video or something yesterday, and then they had like a whole YouTube channel. They've been together for like 3 years now. She just brought a 4th one in or something like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like
she's a pimp.
TikTok,
but like
lit then.
what she was kind of speaking on was like just finding different attributes about each man, like, and they were okay with it. So I guess it just comes.
I guess you're defining an escort.
Hold on, real quick. Pause, real quick. Let me finish these super chats and then let's get back to this heated shit and then we can close out. All right, where am I at? Astro Sports sends another one. He says, Broski is on fire. He's talking about you. And let me see. Did I miss anybody? Miles sends a super chat. He says, if women weren't so stingy about sharing a great man, there would be less women's shelters. Okay.
I want to comment on that.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to comment on that. So if women weren't so stingy about sharing a great man, there would be less women's shelters. But the reality of it is, as much as I'm talking about polygamy, this is something that if you ask me today, I'm 25 years old. If I could handle polygamy right now, 100% I can't handle polygamy. That's something a 40-year-old me could do. As far as him saying women are so stingy about sharing a great man, I'm not just talking against women. Half of these niggas cannot handle polygamy. They're not responsible enough. They're not mature enough. They're not solidified enough to be able to do that. Exactly.
All that, yeah.
So I'm not. Financial's a part of it, but even just being able to emotionally secure a woman and secure another woman is a huge responsibility. And 99% of the men in the West, especially signifying the West, are not capable of handling that.
Okay, true. All right, let's move on. It's Morningstar sends another super chat. Thank you for the super chat. He says, since the beginning of time, majority of women have shared the top minority of men. What are your thoughts on that?
That was the beginning of time.
Of course.
It's not now.
But it's still, never mind. I'm gonna finish this up. That's a reason that women's periods sync up when they live together.
Yep.
Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate that.
Wait. So like, can you like
sisterhood
the whole thing again?
Say that what?
I don't know how the period related to like.
No, you said what?
How did that period relate to like the beginning of that? Can you like make that all blend together again?
Oh, I'm gonna just skip that for right now. I just want to get past all these super chats. We got a lot. At YouTube says the woman in lavender, I don't know which one that is by far the most base and logical, and hence women in the video chat are disrespecting her for it. Whoa, big up, mama.
Thank you.
All right, and it's Morningstar one more time. He says there's also a reason one woman can only have one child a year, while men can have thousands if he can afford it.
Biology,
facts. All right, and last one. Fatty sends second last one. I'm sorry. That I want polygamy. It goes out the window really fast if the caliber of men they dream of comes around. Christian Grey ain't sharing ish. That's true too.
So pretty much saying like.
If the perfect
perfect guy that you want, he's not going to be sharing
carries all, like I have 4 of them, but he carries all 4 of their traits.
Basically, he's saying you wouldn't want 4 other men.
Yeah, nah.
See y'all later.
Astro Sports sends another one. He says, I am the green Lambo. Many other women want it. Why should I pick you up? Oh, I'm sorry. Why should I pick you? Yeah, go ahead. You was about to say something. You forgot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
go ahead.
On that comment, I have a friend that him and I go back and forth about this very frequently because he's always telling me how as women we're under this facade that we really have the options, but he's like, as women you are outnumbered by men, so like men are outnumbered by women, so they have all the options and they can go through. He's like, so really you're competing. He was like, I don't know why women are under this facade that like they aren't competing and like any man
everyone's competing.
Like, I got some fire, bro.
You're being,
I got some fire.
You know, like,
okay, I got some fire.
Hold on, let her finish.
No, that's really just like I have this discussion like frequently that a man, he's like, I am the one, like you guys are competing for me. Why would you be under the facade like I have to compete for you? There's other choices. If I don't have you, like I can move on to somebody else. Like women don't realize that, and you want to sit back and be like, oh, he's gonna come to me, the man's gonna come to me. Like no, he's not. He has other options.
Nope.
Yes. Basically, what are you offering?
What are you offering?
In a sense, like, I'm that guy that everybody's fighting for. So what makes you different? What are you offering?
Yeah.
Facts.
Determining your market value, right?
Yeah.
So this is the cycle that the West goes through, right? And I'm talking from a very like a researcher perspective because like I said, I research these things and I just study, right? What happens is early on, what social media has done is given access for women to be accessed, right? So when a girl is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever, up to like 27, 28, naturally she's on social media and she's in the prime of her life. She's looking real good and she's juicy, really. That's the best way to put it. naturally what happens is when women are in that state, men reach out to them, and so many men are reaching out to them that women fall under the delusion of thinking that, hey, I have so many options, I could be with any man that I want, which at that moment is true. Going back to that, when a man is in his 20s, he's not in his prime. He's not doing well. He feels like a loser. So he has to go through a decade of struggle and putting himself together and figuring out who he is, what he stands for, etc. So once he figures that out, he's at the age of 30. Now what happens is these girls are starting to get older and they're in their 35, 36, and now they're like, oh, I want to settle down and I want a good man. But now that those men didn't have the chance at the sexual marketplace when they were young, they're 35, 36, making money with a nice car, able to go on dates, etc. They're saying, yo, I'm not trying to settle down right now. I finally have access to those 22, 23, 24-year-old girls that are living in their prime. So a man is reaching out to them, which is why, again, from a feministic standpoint, feminism has, I would say, the biggest enemy against women is feminism, because feminism has basically taught women that you have all the time in the world to secure a strong man. But once women get to the point where they're able to actually decide that, hey, I no longer want to have my party girl years and I want to settle down, it's too late, because a man is not going to take you seriously, because a younger woman is more coachable, she's more submissive, she's willing to learn, versus you're stuck in your habits and your routines and you don't want to change for a man, and he doesn't want to have to go through the process of trying to change you when he can just go towards an easier route of a woman that's going to naturally fit into his life.
Plus the baggage that they bring when they get older.
Plus the baggage.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right, another super chat. Then we're gonna do final thoughts. RB in the super chat. He says, "You ladies are already in."
Disregard that, please.
You ladies, no, I gotta read it. You ladies are already in polygamous relationships because you have multiple baby daddies and you're sharing his resources via child support. Thank you for that super chat.
Okay,
and, yeah.
I don't know if I'm the only one here with kids, but yeah, I do have two. I do have two different baby fathers. However, I am not on child support. I take care of my own. They are 12 years apart, and I do the damn thing. I don't need resources. I work several jobs and do my own thing. So no, I'm not in polygamy, whatever the shit is. I'm not in that.
I have a question for you.
Me either. I'm in a
Hold on, real quick.
So
okay.
I have a
like,
kid.
Okay. All right. Now from this side, we're gonna do final thoughts, and then what's your Instagram, and if you
I'll
have any
answer your
questions.
question afterwards.
No, you will, because he's gonna come down this way.
So I guess what I've gained from all of this is that communication is off between the genders.
Yes.
And
yes.
one side isn't listening to the other side.
Yep.
Facts.
And if everyone was on the same level.
And then can you talk to the microphone for me?
Oh, if we were on the same level, there would be none of this mess and none of this confusion.
Facts.
And
It'll be
life
better
would work
relationships.
more simple. Yeah. There would be an actual general compromise between everybody. But the compromise isn't there because the thoughts are just spread out.
Yes.
The radical thoughts are taking over the mainstream general thought.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And then what's your Instagram?
Oh, Liberation, LeaBeration.
I'm gonna put that in the description. All right.
My opinion and thoughts on everything is just I want everyone to learn how she said, listen to each other and learn how to compromise. So compromise is a big thing, and a lot of us don't know how to do it. We'll say we'll do it, but we don't actually understand the meaning of compromise.
Yep.
And then we end up in situations where we're blaming the other person and we can't actually get to a solution. So now it's, oh, well, you're just wrong and I'm right. Or like it just doesn't work. But my Instagram is mmid_QUAYA_MIATO.
The fuck? What's up? Go ahead. She said, leave my Instagram alone. God damn. What's up with these complicated ass Instagrams? Let's go.
Okay. Oh, mine will be simple. But I mean, basically, like the same thing. I feel like what I got out of this is that, like, when it comes to like relationships, it's all about like communication, like compromise and finding a balance. I feel like a lot of like the discussion in general, and like especially today, was based off of like extremes and like extreme examples. But I think when it really comes down to it, it really comes down to those two people and your specific, whether or not you want your relationship to be transactional, whether you want it to be business, whether you want it to be scientific. Like it comes down between like the communication between those two individuals. And I feel like that's like the biggest thing I got out of it is that, you know, like she said, like we're on two different spectrums, but like communication is kind of like the key to like finding a balance within you and somebody or multiple somebodies or wherever you want to do it. But my Instagram is SallyLou22.
Okay.
Real simple.
Oh, okay.
And if you have any questions or any beef with somebody that you want to get out, that's why I brought you.
No. I would say I just think we complicate everything. I really feel like everything is as black and white as it is to be. Once again, I just feel like treating a relationship as your business is probably the best bet. And
that's wise.
Yeah,
That's wise.
it works for some, not for all. But hey, my Instagram is valid.na. And I was quiet this time, you know.
You definitely was.
I was going through a lot of thoughts.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, it just kind of comes down to like the person that you just want to be with. If you guys communicate that, if you want to be with multiple people, if you want to be with one person, if you want to be in love, you know, it kind of comes down to that. That's what honestly marriage is. It is bigger than love. It is bigger than a contract. It's just finding that one right person that you can just finish out with. So that's my goal. Just one. You know, I'm gonna play with. Yeah,
oh God.
No, but yeah.
But hold on, I do have a little bit of beef with you.
Go ahead.
Okay, you actually want love.
No, I genuinely do feel like love does play a big part of it, and I think love can be also broken down into many aspects too, and what comes with it. Me personally, it just comes with like comfortability and how you just mesh into my life also, and so. Like I said, love can be broken down into a lot of like things, and so that's just as long as we have major love for each other, and loyalty, you know, that love and loyalty. That's really what I look for.
Okay.
On Instagram is I__SHEA Shay like butter.
Ooh, final thought.
Let's get it. Talk to me.
I don't know.
Now you quiet. What the fuck?
No, I'm just kidding. No, my final thoughts is pretty much do what makes you happy. Be who you are, stay true to yourself, and do what makes you happy. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know what you will accept, know what you won't accept, and communicate that with the person of your interest, and just stay in your lane. Like, you don't have to pretend to be nothing you're not. You don't have to fake it till you make it. You don't have to do any of that. Stay true to yourself, be who you are, and whatever you're looking for will come.
That's bad advice.
Why is that bad
I'm gonna keep it about for women. Maybe that's a good advice because you're the buyer and people are coming to you. But if you're a guy, you're a hunter. It's your job to go out into the world, find a woman, find your path in life, etc. Things don't just come to you.
I don't think you should do what makes you happy. I think you should do what's productive for you.
No, I'm saying in productive, but what I'm saying, okay, so you have to have some type of happiness too.
Happiness is an emotion. Emotions are constantly changing.
Oh shit, we about to get back into it. Let's get it.
Oh my God. Listen, like, I'm not a fucking robot, okay? Let's just fuck all that. I'm not a goddamn robot. I will have feelings from time to time. I get that it's a business transaction and all that shit, but like, I'm not gonna be miserable and stuck with you all because, you know what I'm saying?
Not even that. This is just a side note, right? A lot of people in the West, what they say is, oh, I just want to be happy. Or women say that, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy.
Men say that too, though. I want to be very clear.
Men say that too. All right. Happiness is an emotion. The natural state of a human being is that emotions are always changing. What people mean when they say, I want to be happy, is they want peace. You don't want happiness, you want peace. You want to be peacefully sad, peacefully happy, peacefully excited.
Peacefully sad.
Peacefully sad. Wait, what?
Meaning that, look, when you're happy or you're sad or whatever, you don't want to be miserable. Sense. You want to have peace, meaning knowing that everything is going to be okay. I'm just a little sad right now, but I know things are going to be okay. I'm happy right now, but things aren't always going to be this way, so I'm okay right now. Point being is that happiness is an emotion that's constantly changing. Peace is a state.
Okay.
Okay, either way it goes, I just want to chill. And I'm chilling. Like, honestly, like, I'm chilling. I have no type of nothing. Like, I'm actually at peace with, and I'm very comfortable with where I'm at in my life, regardless of what all these other people say, talking about But anyways, my Instagram is MaraNicole29. It's just that simple. MARANICOLE29. You can go ahead and follow me and say what you got to say there.
Say less.
That's just where my beef is at. Follow me.
Go ahead.
I just feel like my conclusion to all of this, and also my own ideologies, is that we're all going through a human experience, and there's some of us that want to share it with other people. And I'm also big on energy, so I'm big on investing my energy in the right outlets and where I want it, because I'm very productive too. But that's just my thoughts. And my my Instagram is Sloopy.Jaye. You know.
Okay. It's quiet. Quiet whole podcast.
I guess I'm not used to the comments.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I tried to speak up earlier, but shy. But,
she chat mad.
Basically, I took from all of it, all of this, the conversation, whatever.
Shh. Go ahead.
That there's definitely a double standard when it comes to relationships.
On both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah, definitely. And aside from that, it's really just, I guess, what works in individual relationships. Like, not everybody's going to have the same relationship at the end of the day.
Okay. And then what's your IG?
Tony the artist _.
Okay. Final thoughts?
All right, so I'll end with saying this, right? Because there's a lot of ladies here. What I say or what I like, how I come across, my goal is not to get any of y'all mad or to get any of y'all to hate me or even like degrade you guys or oppress you or whatever. I'm coming from the reason I'm doing this is to try and heal the world, right? I want men to do better. I want women to do better. So when I explain these scenarios to you or explain scientific studies to you guys, it's not about, how men have the advantage, we can win over you. Nah, it's not about that. If I didn't care about women, then I would be having sex with women. As somebody who studied feminine nature and understands how feminine psychology works, then you best believe I know how to manipulate feminine psychology. But the reason I choose not to have sex, choose to be celibate, choose to completely sway away from that whole lifestyle and come here and have conversations like this is to show you guys that I actually care about you women and I want better for you guys.
I love that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I like it.
I want better for you guys too.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro.
No, you was actually cool though. Like you ain't bother me.
All right, and last super chat, I think Blue Pill Unplugged says.
Yo, I didn't plug myself, bro.
Oh, go ahead. What the?
Yo. If you mess with what I'm saying, if you mess with the Red Pill content, hit me up on YouTube. It's Walk with Ease. WALKWITHEEZ. Walk with your boy.
Yes, sir. All right, Blue Pill sends a super chat. He says, based on genetic studies, 40% of men have reproduced, but almost 100% of women have. Women have always shared men despite nonsense like feminism.
It just sound like a whole bunch of like
Numbers
and words.
I knew you was about to say that. I don't know why. And I think that is all. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, you want one last piece of fire?
Matter of fact, I can always clip these videos. Let's get it.
All right, this goes beyond Red Pill and just like this whole relationship aspect, right? You got to think about it from a media perspective. The West has been manipulated and swayed by the media for, I would say, the past 70 years, right? So the question becomes why? What has happened in the West is basically there's certain people out there that understand that men are rational creatures. What that means is men are logical. We try to figure shit out. So you can't manipulate us from a psychological standpoint because we think and we like to piece things together. You can't manipulate us from an emotional perspective because we're not emotional like that. You can't manipulate us from a physical perspective because naturally we grow muscle density and we get stronger. But men do have a weakness. A man's weakness is a woman. Women are emotional. Emotions are easy to manipulate. So what the West does from a media standpoint is they manipulate women. And when they manipulate women, they gain control over men because a man's only weakness is a woman. And once you can control the women that are controlling the men, you control the world.
I have a question about that though, because you I love to hear that men are more logical and stuff, but constantly men are telling us that
they trolling.
They definitely some of them are.
I mean, I'm pointing at that, but I'm just speaking like in general as far as like men usually say like women go for this type of guy. They look for a certain, if they do this, they look for that. Isn't that logical thinking though? Like, don't we think as from a logical point of view, if we think like we look for what we
I wouldn't say women. Women don't consciously think these things, right? You don't consciously say to yourself, hey, this man looks like he makes $100K a year and he looks like he could take care of me. Nah, it's the way that the man presents himself and the vibe that you get from the man in terms of the security that he's able to provide for himself and for yourself.
Yes.
So you're agreeing that we don't know that, like, that's not the first thing that we...
No, definitely not. Anybody who says that is ignorant to how women work.
Cool.
Facts. All right, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to follow anybody, the description will be, their Instagrams will be in the description below. Join the Patreon army, and we out. Yeah. Peace.